Dr. Umar Johnson. Great speaker, not so great of a thinker though. Let's find out why.
Now let's bring it home. CIA agent Ross, remember the white boy?
Yep.
At the end of the day, he flies the plane in. He really saves the day. Can I ask y'all a question? How can a CIA agent be a hero in an African movie when the CIA assassinated every major black leader we had in America, Africa, Central South America, and the Caribbean?
Why does everything need to come down to some kind of conspiracy? I truly don't understand. Like if I have had a conversation with Umar Johnson, one of the many questions, I would have a lot of questions for him, but one of these many questions would be, are you familiar with the term Occam's razor? And if you are familiar with that term, how do you decide when to apply it, right? Because if you're familiar with the term, it must mean that you adhere to it at some point in your life, right? To some extent. So how do you pick and choose when to apply it? For those that are not aware, Occam's razor is essentially the idea that if you have two different explanations for a certain event or situation, oftentimes the simplest explanation is the correct one, or at the very least, the one that we should give more credence to. Oftentimes, not all the time. So when we look at this situation that he's talking about here, with Agent Ross's character playing a role in the movie, saving the day, according to him, which is a whole other mess because he doesn't really save the day because everyone plays a role, right? The Dora Milaje are doing their thing, fighting against Wakabi, Daniel Kaluuya's character, T'Challa is fighting against Killmonger, and then Agent Ross is the one that I believe he prevents Wakanda's technology and weapons from leaving Wakanda and getting spread around the world, right? So everybody has a role to play in the narrative. So firstly, that's incorrect that Agent Ross saves the day. But the notion that him playing a role is like part of this grander narrative of, the CIA putting their dirty mitts involved in everybody's businesses, right? It's like, why couldn't it just be that Agent Ross's character plays a role because Black Panther is part of a much bigger pantheon of movies in the MCU, right? Written and directed by Ryan Coogler, the movie Black Panther, which is a project overseen by Kevin Feige, who is the mastermind of the MCU. Like, why couldn't the explanation for that character's existence and role be as simple as, well, when you have a movie series that's spanning many, many, many years and multiple different directors and all this money being involved, we need a spider web of plans, right? This character needs to be in this place at this time because it's going to tie into that movie that's coming 3 years down the line. And I know that originally you would like to do this storyline that was in Black Panther issue 17 in 1985, but we actually can't do that role because the character that's in that role, which we're actually trying to save that character for this movie that's coming in 7 years time. And that's how it works, right? So rather than focusing or having this narrative of, COINTELPRO and the CIA and, even Disney can't escape the influence of the white power structure. It's like, my friend, it's not that serious. As great of a speaker that Umar Johnson is, the problem here is that he's speaking very confidently in an area that he doesn't know much about. And that area is movie production and direction and writing, and all of these studios and the amount of money that gets involved, right? It's not like this is what we're talking about. We're talking about art, essentially, right? And so the problem here is that he's involving the concept of, white power structure and American exceptionalism and, the CIA, right? And government COINTELPRO planning. He's involving this topic in a topic that shouldn't have anything to do with it, Have those things happen throughout history? Yes. Is there a time and place to discuss those things? Also, yes. Is that time and place in this moment, in this situation, in this particular topic? I think not. And so the lesson here is Occam's razor is a thing. Sometimes we really, really do need to apply it because not everything is some grand planetary conspiracy where somebody's out to get us.